Today we are going to listen to a folktale called The Magic Paintbrush. This folktale is associated with China. Earlier, we have listened to a folktale called The Tiger, the Brahmin, and the Jackal. That folktale was associated with India. Remember, a folktale is a type of fiction. It's a story that someone made up long, long ago, and it's been told again and again. Let's find China on the map. Do you remember which continent China is on? That's right, it's on the continent of Asia, right here in this red circle. If we zoom in a little bit closer, we can see that China is right here in the green. Let's take a look at some vocabulary words that are in our story today. The first word is beggar. A poor person who begs. Cork. A stopper made out of the bark of a cork oak tree. And our last word is scowl. A frown of anger or disapproval. Today's read aloud is called The Magic Paintbrush. What do you think it means for a paintbrush to be magical? Listen carefully to find out how the paintbrush is magical. Let's begin. Once upon a time, long ago in the land of China, there lived a poor boy named Liang. To help earn money for his family, Liang gathered bundles of firewood to sell. But what he really wanted to do, more than anything else in the world, was paint. Liang was so poor, however, that he could not even buy a single paintbrush. One day, as Liang passed by the village school, he saw the children busily painting pictures. "Please, sir," said Liang to the teacher, "I would like to paint, but I have no brush. Will you loan me one?" "What?" cried the teacher. "You are only a little beggar boy. Go away." "I may be poor," said Liang, "but I will learn to paint." The next time he went to gather firewood, Liang used a twig to draw birds on the ground. When he came to a stream, he dipped his hand in the water and used his wet finger to draw a fish on the rocks. That night, he used a piece of burned wood to draw animals and flowers. Every day, Liang found time to make more pictures. People began to notice. "How lifelike the boy's pictures look," he said. "That bird he has drawn looks as though it's ready to fly away. You can almost hear it sing." Liang enjoyed hearing the people's praise, but still, he thought, if only I had a paintbrush. One night, after Liang had worked hard all day, he fell into a deep sleep. In a dream, he saw an old man with a long white beard and a kind face. The old man held something in his hand. "Take this," he said to Liang. "It's a magic paintbrush. Use it with care." When Liang awoke, he found his fingers wrapped around a paintbrush. "Am I still dreaming?" he wondered. Quickly he got up and painted a bird. The picture flapped its wings and flew away. He painted a deer. As soon as he had put the last spot on the animal's coat, it brushed its nose against Liang, then ran into the woods. "It's a magic brush," said Liang. He ran to where his friends lived. He painted toys for the children. He painted cows and tools for the farmers. He painted bowls full of delicious food for everyone. No good thing can remain a secret forever. Soon, news of Liang and the magic paintbrush reached the ears of the greedy emperor. "Bring me that boy and his brush," the emperor commanded. His soldiers found Liang and brought him back to the palace. With a scowl, the emperor looked at Liang. "Paint me a dragon," he yelled. Ma Liang began to paint, but instead of painting a lucky dragon, he painted a slimy toad that hopped right on the emperor's head. "Disobedient boy," said the emperor. "You will regret that." He grabbed the magic paintbrush and ordered his soldiers to throw Ma Liang in jail. Then the emperor called for his royal painter. "Take this brush and paint me a mountain of gold," he commanded. But when the royal painter finished the picture, all the gold turned into rocks. "So," said the emperor, "this brush will only work for the boy. Bring him to me." Ma Liang was brought to the emperor. "If you will paint for me," said the emperor, "I will give you gold and silver, fine clothes, a new house, and all the food and drink you want." Ma Liang pretended to agree. "What do you want me to paint?" he asked. "Paint me a tree that has gold coins for leaves," said the emperor with greed in his eyes. Ma Liang took the magic paintbrush and began to paint. He painted many blue waves, and soon the emperor saw an ocean before him. "That's not what I told you to paint," he barked. But Ma Liang just kept painting. In the ocean he painted an island, and on that island he painted a tree with gold coins for leaves. Yes, that's more like it," said the emperor. "Now, quickly paint me a boat so that I can get to the island." Ma Liang painted a big sailboat. The emperor went on board with many of his highest officials. Ma Liang painted a few lines and a gentle breeze began to blow. The sailboat moved slowly toward the island. "Faster, faster!" shouted the emperor. Ma Liang painted a big curving stroke, and a strong wind began to blow. "That's enough wind!" shouted the emperor. But Ma Liang kept painting. He painted a storm, and the waves got higher and higher, tossing the sailboat like a little cork on the water. Then the waves broke the boat to pieces. The emperor and his officials were washed up on the shore of the island with no way to get back to the palace. And as for Ma Liang, people say that for many years he went from village to village, using his magic paintbrush, helping everyone wherever he went. Here are some discussion questions. Feel free to pause the video in order to allow time to think and discuss. Were your predictions correct about the way in which the paintbrush was magical? Why or why not? Who are the characters in today's Read Aloud? Where is the story set? At the beginning of the story, what does Ma Liang want to do? Why can't he? Why doesn't the teacher at the school loan Ma Liang a paintbrush? Do you think that was just or unjust of the teacher? We are told that even though Ma Liang doesn't have a paintbrush, he starts using twigs, water, and a piece of burned wood to draw lifelike pictures. Do people like his drawings? How do you know? How does Ma Liang eventually get a paintbrush? How is Ma Liang's paintbrush magical? Would you paint objects for others if you had a magic paintbrush, like Ma Liang did? Or would you paint things just for yourself? Why does the emperor want the magic paintbrush? How is Ma Liang able to outsmart the greedy emperor? What kind of person is Ma Liang? What kind of a person is the emperor? Is this folktale fiction or nonfiction? How do you know?